everyone. Today we're adding subframe connectors because their Gen Camaros are flimsy hunks of metal. Okay, and here we have my subframe connectors. Nothing fancy really. I ended up getting these at a swap meet a few years ago for like $100. Well, with today's inflation, you can get them on Jegs online right now for like $470. So these are competition engineering subframe connectors. They're a bolt-in subframe connector. Pretty much they go from back here, connect where this control arm meets the subframe, and then they run along the side to the front subframe. And this goes and stiffens up the body and does everything GM should have done with these cars back in the 80s. Because with T-tops and just crappy design, you get this. It's a nice gap right there. That is from your body twisting, essentially, because really the main support of these cars in the middle is these doors and the floor. The roof doesn't do anything. Got that little pillar in the middle? Yeah, doesn't do much. So there's really nothing kind of holding this car together, except for hopes and dreams. And once you start adding power, you get body twist. And I'm not even making that much power, and this gap has definitely grown since I've gotten it. And the body is actually still fairly solid for being a New England car. So I got the instructions. This is the passenger side, this is the driver side. And overall, I mean, the quality is good on these, but in my opinion, they're not like $460 good. Because it's just a bar with some pretty good welds on it, I would say. Just with some other little pieces of metal with holes welded to it. Essentially, if you're decent with a welder, in my opinion, you could probably make your own for a fraction of the cost. But I mean, back when I got it, I'd probably say this was actually a decent deal. Well, I mean, if I got it today, that'd be a really good deal, but yeah. In my opinion, not $460 good. Back in the day of when they were like $250 to $300, yeah, I would buy these. But with better companies and, well, not better companies, but better subframe connectors, I would just go for the better subframe connectors. But this is what I got, so I'm going to use it. So we're going to start with the passenger side and then move over to the driver's side once we're done with this. So you want your car jacked up sort of like this. You want the rear frame hanging with the wheels hanging, because you got to disconnect this, and then you slide this piece into there, and then you hold the rest of the bar up. They say with wood. I have an extra jack in there that I'm just going to use to, jack it up into place. And then you go and you use the holes in the bottom as a template in a way, and you drill up into the floors, and that's where you go when you put your bolts and you tighten them down. Don't mind the chickens. And it's kind of just like that. I've seen other people, they've said they've thrown these in like within 2 hours. So it's not that hard of a job, hopefully. So hopefully I'll have it done by today, if I don't run into any major issues. It is New England, rust capital of the United States, other than maybe like Alaska or something. But yeah, I'll go and take this bolt off, and we'll go slide it on, and we'll get the jack up in place. Alright, so I got the bolt out. Now, gotta go and line this hole up with that. Get the control arm back in the right place. That's why I got this. I stick this in behind it and try to get it lined up. and then slide the bolt back through. Then we're going to go and lift this up and put it in place. Alright, we got that back in. What I ended up doing, the whole arm wanted to shift forward, so I went and put where is it? This in the back of it. Once I got it straight with a screwdriver, just to hold it in place. It's just a fitting for a brake line, but it's right around the same size as the bolt, so that helped since the bolt's got like a little cone shape on the end of it. You just go and stick it in there, put your socket in there, or your socket on the top of it, spin it in, and it'll kind of work its way in. You just keep going, keep pushing, and it'll pop this out, get all the way through. Alright, so now this is all up into place, looking all fancy and stuff. You might have to go and move your exhaust if you're running a stock exhaust, but this is aftermarket, and I got lucky somehow, and there's enough, don't mind the chicken again, enough space where you can just slide it right up in there. So now the next step is, damn chicken, remove this, because we got to go and move the carpet back. And then we got to drill 13 30-second holes up into the body. So let's get to that. Alright, so now we have all this trim removed. We got the carpet pulled back. Now we're gonna go underneath. I'm gonna grab your, I think, what size was it? 13 30 seconds is what they say you should use. So we're going to use this drill bit, drill holes up in here. I think there's about 4 or 5 of them. And then start putting the bolts through. Alright, so got the holes drilled. One was right here, right along there, one there, and up there. I'll go down below and show you real quick. And right there, which I over tightened. But there's also a hole right here on the passenger side. Hold on, I'll fix this. There. Hole right here on the passenger side. They say don't use it, and there's a pretty good gap up here, so I understand why. Then there's this hole. It's got this little bracket up here. And bolts right up here. This bolt's right up in here. And then there's these. Right here is where I had some issues. You get the kit comes with like a little clip in here, and it's got nuts welded to it. And so this, if it's any sort of bent, you're gonna have some issues trying to get this up and in. I ended up having to drill my holes a little bit bigger and kind of finagling it in, but eventually you will get it. And then I got this tightened back up. Essentially, that's all you need to do for this side. You can go a little crazy and go and weld everything, which I'm going to do eventually, just not right now. But yeah, so the other side, kind of same process. You can look at the instructions that you get off Jags or wherever you get them, and that's about that. This isn't a super intensive project, but I mean, if your car is a little beat up like mine, you might come into a few snags here and there. But I'm going to go do the other side real quick. I'll show you guys how it comes out and what other issues I happen to run into. Alright, and here's the driver's side. It was a little, I would say it was just as difficult as the passenger side. This side had 7 bolts. The other side had 5. Main problem I had was that it was all bent up, and you got to put that little key in there for the bolt to hold. I just kind of managed to get it in there and sent it. So that's where it's staying. But overall, not too bad. What a tool I do recommend, though. This little magnet thing makes life a whole lot easier when it comes to putting in those keys and putting the bolts up in here. Because the holes, kind of a pain to get a socket through. Even though they look big enough, sometimes they don't fit. But other than that, I'd say it's good to go. There's the bolts and the nuts where they come up through the floor. And hopefully that'll give this thing a little bit more support. So in a bit I'll go and I'll take it out for a test drive, and we'll see if it sounds any stiffer and feels any stiffer. What's up, everyone? So today I came to the realization that, hey, I have a YouTube channel and I haven't posted anything on it for a while. And I haven't finished my subframe video yet. Essentially, this is the part I need to tell you guys about, is the final product. And overall, I can say they make a difference. Like, I can feel comfortable flooring this car with the T-tops off and not snapping it in half. Step sign. Here we go. Down the road, I hit a bump with the front left tire. Before, I would just feel kind of a bump in that area. Stuff would shake in the left side. Now, when I hit a bump with the front left tire, I feel it everywhere. It's not just that side anymore. It's all one big kind of connected happiness. Like, I know I was a little hesitant before, like, looking it up, and these are like, I think $470 something online. So like after taxes it would be close to like $5. So do I think it's expensive? Yes. Inflation bullshit's dumb. But are they worth getting? Oh, fuck yeah. Like, see that? I'm going over bumpiness now. I feel it everywhere. Not just this side, that side, here and there. Overall, the car is just a whole lot stiffer. With the new shocks, subframe connectors, everything, it's nowhere near like what it was when I first got the car. See, like, I'm going over bumps, the car's doing this instead of like, yeah. So overall, I would say, yes, definitely get some subframe connectors. The ones I got, I would say they're worth getting. If you can find them for a deal, definitely get them. But overall, yeah, great product in my opinion. It only takes about 3 hours to put in by yourself. Just go drill holes, bolt them in, bada bing, bada boom. You might have a little bit more trouble if your car's all banged up from, 40 years of neglect. That's a big bird. Oh, there it goes. Anyways, thanks for watching. Oh, there's the big bird again. Hi, big bird. I hope you make your decision on if you're getting subframe connectors or not. Even for a stock car, I would get them. They make a big difference. So, I'm going to leave it at that. And if you're lucky enough to make it this far, you're lucky enough to watch me do a burnout. Thanks for watching. Here's your burnout. Have an awesome day.